Hello everybody! Infinite Shinjo here, and welcome back to episode 7 of my Q&A series. Why am I wearing headphones? I have no idea. I put my headphones on just out of habit, and I just realized that I don't even need them yet. So, on with the questions. First question comes from Kyle Aguilar, and they're saying, Shinjo, you are gonna watch a Yu-Gi-Oh! Reanimated and Dragon Ball Reanimated, like Mama Luigi Reanimated and Cartoon Buff Run Reanimated. Also, your fan-made opening is so cool, like Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5 and Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's opening and endings. Also, Jack Atlas is your favorite character from Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's, like Yusei and Akiza uses a Stardust Dragon and Black Rose Dragon. Okay, so let's take this apart piece by piece. Are you gonna watch a Yu-Gi-Oh! Reanimated and Dragon Ball Reanimated, like Mama Luigi Reanimated? Is there such a thing as Yu-Gi-Oh! Reanimated and Dragon Ball Reanimated? Because I know of the whole Mama Luigi thing back in the day. I'm not sure if it was reanimated. I suppose it might have been. And also, what the heck is Cartoon Buff Run? I have no idea what that is either. First of all, actually even on this topic, it says, Shinjo, you are gonna watch a Yu-Gi-Oh! Reanimated, and so on. So it's not even a question to start. And let's see the next part. Your fan-made openings are so cool, thank you. Like Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5 and 5Ds. Haven't really made many Arc 5 recently, so I'm not sure why those two you specifically pinpoint out. Also, Jack Atlas is your favorite character. I mean, okay. Jack's fine. I wouldn't say that Jack is my sole favorite character from Yu-Gi-Oh! Probably more Yusei, just because he's the main character. And yes, Yusei and Akiza both use Stardust and Black Rose Dragon. Somebody help me out here. I'm not sure what the question is. And actually, more on the matter, now that I'm looking at it, there is no punctuation at all in this, outside of that colon beside the question. It's just one huge run-on sentence. I'm not one to criticize people's wording or anything like that, because I'm sure that I have flaws with it as well. But I'm starting to wonder if people in comment sections in general, not just going to pinpoint this specific comment, but if they look over what they read or wrote before they post it. Because, I gotta be honest, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be answering here. The only reason that I'm including it in this video is because it's in a Q&A. Plus it says question. I'm really not sure what I can do with this. The next question comes from Ultra Lucario, and they ask, do you think Dragon Ball should give focus on side characters like Jiren, Hit, and Universe 6 Saiyans, or will they always focus on Goku and Vegeta? Personally, I think they should give other characters their own arc, especially Jiren, so we can know when the evildoer is. I know I more or less paraphrase what they wrote, but I'm still losing a bit of brain cells after the last comment. So, I think that they should give tiny arcs to characters like Jiren, Hit, and the Universe 6 Saiyans. They're kind of, air quotes, doing that with the Dragon Ball Superheroes thing or whatever they call it, but it's not part of the main series, first of all. But I really think that they should do something like that, first of all, with Universe 6, because it was either in another Q&A episode or another episode of mine in general, whatever it was, that people were already drawing comparisons to Universes 6 and 7, because they have Saiyans, both of them have Saiyans, and really, you could say, I don't know which person you could say Hit is supposed to be. I would say probably more Piccolo, because both of them started out as an antagonist to the main character, but then started to be more like Vegeta sort of character, I guess to call it. Like, not exactly a friend, not exactly an enemy. Plus, from all the people that were in the Tournament of Power, Universe 6 were introduced before that. And a lot of the characters in that universe have had fleshed out characters. We got Caulifla, Kale, Kaba, Hit. I'm sure there's a whole lot more in that universe. Isn't Botamo in that universe? Yes, he is. Because it shows him along with Kaba and Hit in that Dragon Ball Super Opening 1. But yeah, I think they should give some spotlight to other characters besides Goku and Vegeta. But because of the nature of Dragon Ball, I think they're going to solely focus on Goku and Vegeta. Because when it comes to anything involving Dragon Ball, those two are very recognizable characters. The best way that I can explain it is kind of relating it to Pokemon. It's like they would never change the protagonist from Ash in Pokemon because he's a household name in the Pokemon franchise, similar to how it is with Goku in Dragon Ball. I really think they should give an arc, especially for Jiren, because they had that whole build-up of who killed Jiren's whole universe or whatever it was. I can't remember the exact thing. It wasn't his parents, was it? I think it was his parents because they were drawing comparisons to him and Batman. I think that is something that they should do. I honestly thought, even with all the plot holes it would have created, it would have been interesting to find that Belmont was the one that did it. And I can imagine a lot of people were thinking the same thing. Even with all the problems that it would have caused with continuity, I think they should have done that. So, in short, yes, I think they should give spotlights to side characters, but sad to say, I don't think they are, because Goku and Vegeta are a lot easier to market to, especially from the people that watched Dragon Ball back in the day and not as much now. Seal Dark Rose, which it's cool to see different names on this Q&A series, and if I mispronounced your name, I apologize. They ask, do you know how to do any anime impressions? Like example, All Might, Goku, Deku, etc. If so, can you try an impression? And just based off of the examples that you have given, I could probably try an All Might, but I will probably fail miserably. And probably the same along the lines of Deku, because a lot of early Academia, I watched the dub, but then with the later seasons, I watched the sub of it, so I'd be more used to the sub voices. And even so, I don't think my voice can get deep enough to do All Might. And as far as Goku, I cannot do the Shanshimo Goku. I could probably do a bridge Goku, if anything. You know what? Scratch that last part. I just tried to do a bridge Goku, and I don't think my voice can get that high. Plus, I am getting a little bit over a sickness, which I'm actually glad that I'm getting over now that I have recorded this video, because I could not have done any impressions with my sickness. They're not really any of the impressions that you have mentioned, but I can try and do a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh ones because I watched a lot of the early dub. But just as a fair warning, I am not a voice actor. Yugi, draw your last pathetic card so we can end this match. My grandfather's deck has no pathetic cards, Kaiba, but it does contain the unstoppable Exodia. Personally, I enjoy doing the Kaiba a bit more because my voice can't get deep enough to do Yugi. But how can we talk about Seto Kaiba without talking about Mokuba? Yes, I know that this is Mokuba's abridged voice, but I can't actually do the voice he uses in the series. And let's not forget, ooh, Kaiba boy. I invite you to a magical world. I play Toon World. And yeah, a lot of these Yu-Gi-Oh voices are a mix of the abridged and the actual voice. But, like for example, I have a little bit of a hard time doing actual dub Tristan, but I can do his abridged voice perfectly, which I think I actually have used some variation of his voice in a couple of my videos, so there you go. Let me think. I think I can actually do a Yusei voice. Alright then, Jack, Crow, it's time to take down Rex Godwin and save this world. Actually, I did throw a little bit of a bridge in there because it's Rex Goodwin instead of Godwin. Shout out to Little Kuribo's one-shot. As far as a lot of early Pokemon voices, I cannot do Ash's at all. And Misty's I can't do because my voice won't go that high. I can't do Brock's, and James's would just sound like Maximilian Pegasus, so there you go. Although there is one voice from Pokemon that I feel I can do decently well. I'm not gonna mention who it is, you guys will have to guess who it is in the comment section. Alright everybody, are you ready to try and guess this? And technically, there are multiple answers that are correct, because I'm voiced by different people in both Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon. But like I said before, I'm not a talented voice actor, so my voices might not be perfect, plus I'm still getting over a little bit of a cold. But in all seriousness, thank you Dark Rose for the comment, but if it wouldn't be for my sickness, and if I would have had a little bit of prep time, I probably could do better. But what I might do, this just came to me out of the blue, But if you guys would be okay with it, I could do a video where I just watch like tiny clips of dub like All Might, Deku, and hear the voices for myself and try to do the voice the best way I can. And I'm sure that a lot of these voices aren't really perfect. I was tempted to try Merrick voice, but I don't think I will be able to do that voice. And there are probably a lot more voices than I mentioned that I could do, but I don't want to keep you guys forever. And the last question of this episode comes from Child Misaki Ackerman, and they ask, have you seen Rising of the Shield Hero yet? Unlike most isekai anime, what I love about the anime is he doesn't start off overpowered with a spell or ability. Also, there's no harem like in most isekai. So, to start with the original question, yes, I have seen Rising of the Shield Hero. Actually, one of the parts of my rundown of this season's anime will probably be up before this Q&A is up. Link to that will probably be at the end of this video. But I am enjoying Rising of the Shield Hero. I think the premise of it and the first few episodes really intrigued me. But with the more recent episodes introducing Philo, I'm not really as much on board. Not saying Philo's a terrible character, she's adorable, but it's more like it had a more serious tone before Philo was introduced, and now that Philo's introduced, there's literally an episode where her and Raphtalia are running away from like some sort of bull boar creature just because they want to get an egg or whatever Raphtalia is getting as a gift for Naofumi. And the episode is supposed to be Raphtalia and Philo working together, resolving their differences, but it just seems like an episode of a random sitcom outside of the whole isekai genre. But there's probably at least a couple more episodes out since the last time that I watched it, and if it changes back to that normal tone that it started with, that would be great. And honestly, the more lighthearted tone is probably better after some of the heavier stuff that was in a bunch of the more recent episodes. But yeah, you are right that Naofumi isn't indestructible, I guess to call it. Because I don't really watch much isekai anyway. Actually, on my other channel, I think it was last year, somebody mentioned to me about watching, what was that? Death March to the Parallel World Rhapsody or whatever. I think that's what it was, because I think Isla McTeer made a video about that and other anime from that season, and she joked about Bohemian Rhapsody, because it's just a ridiculous title. Why not just throw one more word in there? But I watched, I think that was what it was. I watched like the first episode, and it was just like all the other ones. And it's just like, okay, we got another isekai that's just like the rest of them. At least with Rising of the Shield Hero, it's different enough that you can relate to the main character. Because I think the problem with a lot of isekai, not saying that there's any problem, don't berate me in the comment section, but for the most part, it's just that with any anime, especially isekai, you're supposed to relate to the main character, feel sorry for the main character, and Naofumi does that perfectly because he gets set up. All of us watching knows that he was set up, but everybody in the universe just decides, oh, okay, Naofumi's bad now. So Naofumi's transition of being somewhat of an anti-hero makes sense to us because he was basically framed. But as far as the part of a no harem in there, hold that thought, because there's still like almost 20 episodes left of the series, and from how it's looking so far, that could be the end result, because he's palling around with 2 girls. I don't know exactly how many qualifies to become a harem, but if it's 2, there you go. And that's all the questions for this time. I spent normally longer time on these questions than I would actually. Like, I went into more detail on the voices that I could do. I went into more detail on Shield Hero. And I basically just wrote off that first question because I'm not sure what I meant to answer there. If there is anything that is Yu-Gi-Oh! Reanimated, Dragon Ball Reanimated, or Mama Luigi Reanimated, please let me know. Because that's the only question that I can see that I'm supposed to answer. But outside of that, I don't know. But if you enjoyed, don't forget to hit that like button. Leave any questions that you have down in the comment section. And if you can figure out what my super secret voice for this episode, my impression was, you can leave that down in the comment section. And there are a couple of answers that I'll technically accept because this person did do roles in Pokemon, Sonic X, and Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. But that's the only hint that you're going to get from me. I will see you in the next episode. Momentai.